Thank you very much, Chairman. Today we are marking up two pieces of legislation, H.R. 875, to provide for a comprehensive assessment of the scientific and technical research on the implications of the use of mid-level ethanol blends and for other purposes. And H.R. 1422, the EPA Science Advisory Board Reform Act of 2013. Let me say at the outset that I'm disappointed the committee is not following regular order on these bills. This committee has had a good tradition of following regular order in the movement of legislation, and that tradition has served both sides of the aisle well over the years. Regular order is not an arbitrary concept. It is a time-tested means to perfect legislation. Moreover, I think it fosters bipartisanship. The last time Democrats controlled this committee, we held 25 subcommittee markups in 4 years and took 45 bills through these markups. And as former Chairman Bart Garton liked to brag, every one of those bills had at least one or some Republican support. I do not believe this is a coincidence. I hope we can get back to that tradition sooner rather than later. Unfortunately, I cannot support the two bills we are marking up today in their current form. I'm glad to see the Democratic members have so many amendments to improve these bills because they need much improvement. H.R. 875 is a retread of an almost identical bill this committee marked up last Congress. Last year, after a contentious markup, the bill didn't even bother reporting, the committee didn't even bother reporting the bill to the House. I think it's curious that the committee is spending time today marking up a bill that had so many flaws that we couldn't even bother to file a report on it in the last Congress. One reason the majority may have squashed the bill last Congress is that it represents everything the Republican Party platform says is bad about the government. I will explain in layman's terms what that bill does. The bill forces the EPA to regulate a product out of existence rather than let free market forces dictate the success of E15. The stated justification for this is that consumers are too stupid to use this product correctly. The majority apparently has lost all faith in both consumers and the free market system to deal with E15. So today I will support the free market system and oppose this bill and the majority's attempt to expand the name nanny state. These are strange days indeed. Next, the committee will consider H.R. 1422, which alters the EPA's Science Advisory Board process for the worse. This bill is a naked attempt to reduce legitimate scientific input at the board and replace it with industry-funded input. If that was not bad enough, the bill contains several provisions which appear designed to bury the board in a mountain of work simply to keep it from getting anything accomplished. For these reasons, it should not be surprising that groups like the Union of Concerned Scientists, Natural Resources Defense Council, Environmental Defense Fund, Clean Water Action, Physicians for Social Responsibility, Earth Justice, and the League of Conservation Voters oppose this bill. I have 2 letters from these organizations stating their opposition, and I ask that they be included in the record. Democratic members have submitted a number of good amendments to correct the deficiencies in the bill, and I look forward to supporting them, and I look forward to a good markup. But a markup that should first have occurred in the subcommittee level. When we bypass that process, it makes for a more contentious full committee markup because the members, first of all, on those subcommittees have not been able to function. I respect the chairs and subcommittee and ranking members of the committees, and I really hope that at some point we can get back to our subcommittees functioning appropriately in this committee. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I will yield that. The subcommittees had been allowed time to function, we would not be considering these amendments right now. We would be looking at the overall bills. And I think that it's an insult to the members of these subcommittees not to allow them to function. However, that is not the real baseline of it. Whatever happened to the last Congress and the Congress before that and the Congress before that and the Congress before that, we would not have subcommittees if they didn't have a role to play. Yeah. And I'd like to see them play that role. Yeah.